Firstly, we need to collect our beach sand. Well, there's the sea. We're in Sidmouth in Devon, and what a lovely sunny morning it is. Off we go back to the studio now. Today I've got something I'm going to do for the very first time. It's very precious. I've been entrusted from a friend of mine with two lovely old wedding rings. One is her gran's, which is beautiful yellow, dark yellow, 22 carat. And the other one is her mum's, her mother's, which is 9 carat gold. She's lost both her mum and her gran, and would like these rings combining together to make one ring. I gave her several options. She would have liked to spin a ring, but actually there isn't enough gold in those two rings to make a spinner ring. Weight for weight, you get a lot less volume in gold than you do in silver. It's quite complicated. Well, it's not complicated if you know what you're doing, but if you Google it, all the explanation is there. But if you've got ounce for ounce silver and gold, you will get far less out of the gold ounce than you will out of the silver ounce. Now, I gave her several options. I gave her a few options, and she decided she'd quite like to have them melted together and sand cast, because her mum and her gran both like the beach, and she wanted to wear a ring. She wants to wear it on her little finger, on her pinky finger, and she wanted it with texture. So it's the perfect way to hopefully get her what she wants. Now, I've been to the beach. I've got my beach sand. Obviously, I'm going to use Delft clay casting for this. I've been doing quite a bit over the last few days, so I really feel the time's right now to not keep putting off using this precious gold. I so want to get it right. And I so wanted to be pleased with the outcome or the product that she ends up with. I really wanted to have a ring that she wants to wear and is pleased to wear it. So I will be using Delft clay, but I will be using the beach sand to put in there, just in the mould, and I'll show you how I do it, to make a beachy texture. Or a sand texture, shall we say, more than a beach texture, same thing, but a sand texture. So I'm going to take you along on the ride. I've got a new crucible that I've prepared. There is a video on how I've coated it with the borax, so that's already done, because it's very important that you keep silver material away from gold material and things like that, because it will leave. My one that I use for silver is it's been used a lot and it's got bits of silver in there. It's inevitable. So we're going to use a brand new crucible. We're going to use this lovely gold. Want to keep it as pure as we can. So we're off to melt that, make the mold. Well, we'll make the mold first, obviously. I'll show you how I do it. I'll show you how I put the sand in. I've got my scales here. Let me weigh these two rings for you. There's one weighs 2.63. This one weighs 4.88. So put those two together and I've got actually 7.41. So that's what I'm starting with. I appreciate there'll be a sprue. Obviously there is wastage with Delft clay casting. There's wastage with any material that you use that you're constructing an item of jewellery. So hopefully there'll be a little bit left over that I can perhaps, as a surprise, she doesn't know this, I haven't explained the waste situation to her, but hopefully what bits are left. She loves earrings and she loves long earrings and big earrings, so hopefully I can make her some silver earrings that are quite chunky, that meets her style, and add little bits of the gold that are left over, because I wanted to have every little morsel back of this very precious metal. So I'm going to don my apron and off we go. Oh, now we've got the sand in the tray. There's the mould ready. I'm going to chop up the sand, as I usually do. I do have to say this is a lovely medium to work with. It's very exciting. It's quite exciting because you never really know what you're going to get when it comes out. But hopefully, if it's a good result more times than it's not, then it's all worthwhile. Okay, so we've chopped up some sand there. As usual, we've got the side with the lip on and the side with the lip on and the side without the lip on. So we're going to start with the lip face down like that. Then we're going to pack that in like this. Get the hammer it in, pack it down really well. Put some more on. Use the scraper and scrape that off level. And this little hole here, just scrape that off too. You're not actually seeing me very well here. I'm going to just raise that up a little bit, if you don't mind. There we go. Hopefully you'll see me a little bit better. So we had that face down, we've scraped that off level, and we've just tidied up that bit as well. So what we now do is just clear the decks a little bit. There we go. Put that down. Okay, we're going to now put the talcum powder on. You don't have to use talcum powder. You can use corn flour or cornstarch, as I believe they call it, maybe in the USA. I use baby powder because I used to use it in a past hobby, doing paper craft, and we used talc for a few things. So I've got a big packet of it, so that's what I use. Now, what we do here, we've got our blue ring that we made the mold for. So this is what we're going to put in here. Let's put it there. Now what we do is press that in, put my specs on, I'll see what I'm doing. Okay, let's get that back in place. Right, press it down with this because it evens the pressure, and we want to get it in about halfway. So we'll put that in, and then put, that's pushing out a little bit. That shouldn't be doing that, but just firm that up a little bit. When the sand goes on top of it in a minute, you'll see that it'll all firm down when it's hammered again. So that's looking perfect actually, and no problems with that. So what we do now is we put the top one on, but we line it up exactly where the two halves meet. So we've done that. So now we fill in the top half, and we give that a good old bashing, the same as we did the bottom half. So let's see what we can do with that. There we go. Where's the hammer? There it is. Some more on there. Excuse me. To get this as solid as we can. There we go. Scrape that off. Just take a little bit off there that's overflowing. There we go. Now clear the decks again. What we do now is we take these apart. You have to pull them straight. Don't twist them or else it'll spoil the mould. There we go. There's our ring. See if we can get that out without disturbing anything. Yes, there we go. So we've now taken the ring out. What we need to do now is feel that that's moved a little bit. Let me just put that ring back in again just to just to firm it up a little bit. We're going to scrape away that for the pouring hole anyway, but start as we mean to go on. Okie dokie. Right, what we want to do now is put in the beach sand. Here's the beach sand. Came from Sidmouth Beach in Devon. So I'm going to put that on, say, a piece of paper like this, because I don't want to mix it up with the rest of the sand. Oh, I don't need that much. We only need a tiny little bit. I've got enough to last years here. I've got half of Sidmouth Beach in that bottle. So what we want to do now is press this around the edges, or sprinkle it around the edges, and see if what we're aiming for. We're aiming to get it in here, in this edge, because if you can see where that's come from, we need to get it into this outer wall, because that's the bit we want texturing. So we just keep sprinkling. It's like flouring a cake pan, really. Just keep dribbling it in and knocking it round. Don't want any in that top half, because so if you can see that, yes you can, I think. So you can see that it's in this, the wall here, the wall of this mould. Can you see? Any surplus I'm going to knock off with a paintbrush. Any that's in a place I don't want it in. So that's all right. That seems to be nice. I'll do the other one. I perhaps should have done the sprue hole first. I probably should have, but we've done it this way now, so I don't suppose it'll matter. Just pile it up in there and hope that the surplus sticks to the edge, which it appears to be doing. Because this Delft clay sand is quite oily. I think it's got oil in it. So it should, in actual fact, be sticking to that. So let's see what we can do with that. Okay, and then we'll brush off the surplus. So you know, and this one, because it's got the talc on, it isn't actually sticking as well. Maybe a little bit of persuasion. Yeah, it is sticking now. It's needed. I think I was a bit brutal when I tapped it out. There we go. Right. I'm going to actually press that in. Where's it got some nice tweezers somewhere? Just going to press it in a bit with the tweezers just so it sticks to that wall. It's obviously the talc that's stopping it on this side. Not had that happen before, actually. I don't know why it's doing that today. But hey ho, these things come to try us. Make sure it gets in there. There we go. So let's leave that for now, because I've now got to do the sprue hole, which, as I said, in the event, I probably should have done that first. But the sprue hole is where we going to pour the molten gold into. So we need to get our paintbrush and make a hole and get our, where have I put everything? There's the penknife. I'll just scoop this out to leave us a pouring spout, so to speak. And then this is where we want our sprue. screw hole up here. Oh, there seems to be plenty of sand in there now. Probably ought to just tip a little bit of surplus out of that one actually. It's gone from not having enough in to having too much. Obviously over egged it a bit. All I'm doing out of shot is just brushing the surplus off with a paintbrush. Yeah, I think that looks nice. Okay, let's have a look. Clear that away. What we need to do now is put these two back together. I don't like the fact that that's got a ridge there. We need this to flow. Ah, there we go. Right, let's pop those together. Okay, there we go. So there's the sprue, there's the hole. Let me press that back. What we don't want is any loose sand. We don't want sand going in and mixing with the gold. We want it just looking fine and dandy. I'm going to press these two pieces together. So what we're going to do now is take it over, melt the gold, pour it in, and then we'll have the happy surprise for seeing what happens. Okay, we're all set up here. This is the mould we've just made. This is the crucible, a brand new crucible. There is a video, I'll put a link to it in the description below, of how I coated it with the borax to give it a nice shiny coat so that that's not going to be sticky at all. Let's give it a nice wipe out and make sure it's nice and clean. There we go, that's nice and clean. There are the two, sorry you didn't see that, there are the two beautiful rings in there. We're going to put that on there, turn on the torch, and away we go. So here we go, here's the exciting bit. Right, that's gone in. As you can see, it's steaming. We'll take it back over to the tray and open it up and see what we've got. Here we go now for the exciting bit. It's actually still hot. Ooh, that's very hot. Let's have a look what we've got. It's looking good. It's not much of a sprue, which is always a good sign. Means the gold's gone down. Oh, but that is very hot. Let's try the penknife. There we go. And success. Look what we've got. That was just what I wanted, because I wanted my friend to have virtually all her gold back. There's very little sprue. It's the smallest sprue I've ever done, or I've ever been successful doing, let's put it that way. So let's have a look. Let's get it out. Oh my word, I love it. I absolutely love it. That is the way to make the most of one's gold if you're sand casting. Good grief, that is amazing. Let's have a look now. Is that hot? Not too bad. It's a bit warm. But anyway, that's what we've got. We've got a lovely ring. What I might do is make it narrower at the back than the front and have it so that there is a definite distinction between the back and the front. She wants to wear it on her pinky finger, but oh my word, this is one happy lady here, I tell you. We've managed to get a ring without adding any gold, without taking too much away, just this little bit here. Probably won't even be enough to do the earrings that I was suggesting at the beginning of the video. So I think we'll just go with it, because that is amazing. Let's hope she's pleased with it. But I'm going to go off now, clean it up, and I'll come back and show you what we've ended up with. Well, here we go. Look at that. It's had a polish, it's had a shine, and I couldn't be more happy with it. I love the beach sand texture. It's very rustic, but that's what we were looking for in a way. It's not a look that I dislike at all. In fact, quite the opposite. I really, really like it. I just hope my friend is pleased with it. But that's what we've ended up with. Hope you like it too. Here we go. Here it is, all finished, all ready to go off for hallmarking. Sorry, I'm holding the phone. Sorry if it wobbles. I'm so pleased with this. I'm in danger of not wanting to let this one go, I do have to say. It is so pretty. I'm so pleased with all the texture on it. Hope you like it too. So there we go, all ready to pack up and have its beautiful Platinum Jubilee hallmark added to it.